Welcome to a new daily top Askreddit video. Today's topic: what's your own toxic trait? I ignore things that cause me too much stress, until they become urgent and serious. Best Reddit thread I ever read, one of like 4 actually useful ones, was from a fighter pilot about stress management. He said stress is really just a list of things that need doing. The stress equals the volume of things. Now, if I get overwhelmed on one task, I just list everything I have to do and tackle one after another until I have extra emotional room to tackle the tough thing. Once the tough thing is done, the list is once again easy to tackle. This is my process for doing everything from going to the gym to running companies. Understand stress as an issue of quantity rather than as an emotional failure was major in my life. //edit, not because I think I am at all interesting in any way, but because people have asked. Here are links to other threads that I value. Pulled from my saved. This unfortunately doesn't work for me as I have ADHD, and that comes with executive dysfunction. If I make out a list, the length of the list will just overwhelm me. So what I have to do to get things done is promise myself I will do only one of those things today. For some reason when I do that, I can accomplish it. And oftentimes if that thing I chose to do today required getting clothes on and going out, by the time I am in my car, I can often start doing more than that first task. But my battle with tasks is convincing my stupid brain to get out of bed. Edit, this is blowing up, so I feel it a good moment to just say this. If you think you have ADHD, please get diagnosed by a certified psychiatrist. And get a second opinion too. Making sure of what you have helps you develop healthy coping methods. Self-diagnosing ADHD doesn't really help you. I am glad this comment has opened some eyes, but I want you all to take care of yourselves. Yes, my old go-to of nurturing minor problems into major ones. If it's not the due date, then it's not the due date. I interrupt people if I feel like I know what they're going to say. It's fucking annoying. Edit, well. Just got off work and came back to this massive response. Thank you all for the awards. You guys honestly made this memorable enough that it will most likely stay with me in conversations and possibly help me to stop doing this. I do this. What the hell? I've managed to contain myself from doing this, but the problem is that when I figure out / think I know what they are going to say, I pretty much check out of the conversation until they're finished. Or, I'll pre-plan what I'm going to talk about when they are done, which basically is nodding my head and pretending I'm listening all the while thinking about other things or different responses. I don't like that I do this, and sometimes I have to concentrate really hard and force myself to empty my mind and focus on the other person, but it is difficult sometimes. Ash, here I am. Granted, I only read half your comment since I knew what the rest would say. My toxic trait is thinking that my self-awareness of my toxic traits cancels them out. Too loud. I'm terribly sorry. I'll be quieter next time. I'm really bad at keeping up with people I'm genuinely interested in getting to know, and when on occasion I succeed, I can't help but feel I'm being creepy. This one gets me. I want friends, but I feel creepy and overbearing when I follow up and text after a few weeks. I can just imagine then looking at their phone and thinking, how can I let this conversation die quickly so I don't hurt her feelings, and also don't have to talk to her? I can't help but feel this is a symptom of social media. Our interactions are all over medias, and personal interactions outside those platforms feels invasive. Yay, definitely I used to feel this one. I think it must come down to low self-esteem. But I started getting over it when a friend of mine told me to just reverse the roles and say to yourself, how would I feel if this was me receiving this message? It's almost always a positive when someone reaches out. I'm very irritable, and that really pisses me off. Edit, thanks everyone for showing concern. I am generally right as rain. I was mostly being facetious. Mostly. I feel this one hard. The worst part is that as I get older, I realize that's it rarely to do with the other person / situation, but just my own anxieties playing out in unhealthy ways. I hold grudges and I can be quite petty sometimes. My girlfriend and I laugh about how petty and competitive we are. But I laugh much more. I either overvalue my role in other people's lives, or I self-isolate and want nothing to do with anyone. Edit, there's no shame in the medicine game if you feel like it's out of control. I simultaneously have low self-worth and a feeling of superiority to other people. I don't remember things that don't benefit me. I never ask for help because I think I can do everything myself, and I insist that I can do it even though I can't. I'm right there with you. The only exception being not because I think I can do it myself, but because I have to, if that makes sense. Like, I've never been able to rely on anyone's help because I just have to figure it out for myself, or else I'm a failure and feel judged. It's caused a ton of stress in life. But on the other hand, I've been able to pull myself out of shitty situations and have a little pride in that. But I don't think it's necessarily healthy. Life is tough and it takes its toll when you do it alone. Then you break down and ask for help, only to end up with a bunch of idiots in your way making everything worse. Lol. I had to leave a job over this. I'm in a hole, trying desperately to dig myself out, asking for help. But please don't just add people to my team, I don't have time to train them or oversee them. Please just give me direct access to the tools I need. And I wind up with 2 completely untrained team members who I then try to train while going farther into the weeds. I'm drowning here. Thanks for throwing me an anchor. Procrastinator. What do procrastination and masturbation have in common? In the end, you're only fucking yourself. I really feel this one. I'm a pro-masturbator. Aka masturbator. I also procrastinate. Where I make plans to masturbate and then things come up and I get distracted and then I'm angry and horny with myself that I never got that alone time. I have a bad habit of not trusting other people to do things right. This is a tough one because it feels very validating when you do catch someone fucking up that you were prepared for because of your suspicion, but you have to weigh the cost of suspecting everyone to both your relationships and your mental health against the advantage that you get from suspecting people and removing that vulnerability. It's a legitimate decision to make. I also do this. Overbearing and I need attention. I jump to conclusions. I am self-aware and have made great efforts to combat these propensities. I'm aloof. Like I value my relationships with people and try to be there when they need me, but otherwise I just occupy my own space and do my own thing. Like I'm not part of any Twitch, Discord, etc. communities because I find I get bored with keeping up with them. It generally means that in the few instances where I feel lonely, I know I've done it to myself. But I can't change who I am without serious effort and I like my life, so I am who I am. Some folks questioning how being too aloof can be toxic. It's hard to put into words, but I have actively aloofed myself right out of relationships, friendships, and positions of responsibility. Like not responding to a text/DM for a week and then forgetting about it. Or modding a community and just not logging in anymore because I want to play a game or something instead. But at this point I accept that aspect of myself so I don't tend to take up any positions that require a ton of commitment. Like I don't raid in WoW anymore because I didn't want to commit to logging in 2 nights a week, etc. So I've probably aloofed myself right out of a lot of potential friendships, relationships, opportunities, etc. But at the same time I don't like being tied down. I want to do what I want when I want, and for the most part I can, so I'm satisfied, even if it's not as healthy lol. Edit, I'm glad I'm not alone in being this way. I'd say we should all get together and make an Aloof's Anonymous community group but we all know we'd be like super into it for a week and then get bored and do something else, LMAO. Have this issue too, makes it hard to connect with new people, especially since nowadays most people expect being in constant contact online, and I'm terrible at that. I often literally forget to talk to people unless I see them in person or they talk to me first. It's weird cause I think of everyone really often. Every little thing I see or do reminds me of someone. I just don't feel the urge to go text them. I'm also satisfied just knowing how people are doing, so, for example, if my mom talks to my brother and tells me about it, I don't need to talk to my brother directly anymore, cause I know how he is. Exactly. Like people think it's weird that when I'm working, my cell phone is in my bedroom charging. IWFH. I don't really check it during the day because I'm working. One time I neglected to respond to my mom's texts for I think like 12 hours. Because I just didn't feel like talking to anyone that day. She ended up calling the police for a welfare check on me. At freaking 11:30 p.m. Scared the absolute bejesus out of me. Is not talking to someone for half a day really that big of a deal nowadays? You-ish. Started pottery a few years ago. I found you can socialize exactly how much you want. While you throw a piece on a wheel people don't talk to you. If you want to shoot the shit, you take break. Just mentioning it in case someone reading has that social is RTO itch to scratch but can only take so much. Plus it's a relaxing hobby. I have a similar reason for playing music and being in a band as a hobby. Besides music being one of the things I enjoy doing the most, it's the only real time I spend with the people I consider my friends. Once every couple of weeks I'm in a room with these people for 5 hours, then every now and then we play a show which counts as going out for an evening. If I'm not feeling social I can talk about the band, the music, and business stuff. If I am feeling social then we can talk shit and have a laugh.